What's up YouTube? This is Luke with Wilson Auto Detailing, and the subject of today's video is interior window cleaning. And if you hear that buzzing noise behind me, that's because the neighbor of the house of which I'm working is flying a drone, so that's cool. But I'm on location at a customer's house detailing a big Suburban. I've been doing the inside for a long time because it's real dirty, but I'm about to hit the windows and finish up the inside, and it's like 7:30, and so I need to finish quickly. But this video is going to be very, very simple, but very important. And I wish there was more information to give on this subject, but it really is just kind of a simple subject. So I'm going to make a shorter video today, and I hope this helps you. By the way, if you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, or this is your first time to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, then first of all, welcome, and second of all, consider subscribing by hitting the little red subscribe button in the corner here, because I come out with daily videos of tips and tricks, not only for the do-it-yourselfers, but also for the professional detailers on products to use, tools to use, strategies to implement, business skills, communication skills, and so much more, all regarding stuff in the detailing world. So let's get into this. How do you clean interior windows, and what are the problems that most people face? Well, when you're cleaning interior windows, number one thing that a lot of people deal with are fingerprint marks or oil, like body oil marks where somebody has touched the window or something like that. And I'm actually about to work on this window right here in front of you guys to show you exactly how I do this. But you got fingerprint marks, like body oil marks, you got fog, especially on the interior windshield. A lot of people have a big issue with this fog film that kind of rises and sticks to the front interior windshield. And it wouldn't be that big of an issue if it came off with glass cleaner, but people get really frustrated because they try some Windex or some dedicated automotive detailer glass cleaner, and it doesn't bring that fog off, it doesn't take the body oils off, it doesn't really clean the window like it's labeled a glass cleaner. Well, why does that fog arise onto there, and why does there seem to be a kind of nasty film that marks all windows? Well, because as you ride in the car, number one, you can have kids touch the window. Obviously, direct contact with the window or the glass is going to put body oils on it, like duh. But a lot of times there's oils, kind of residues from the dashboard that heats up and it actually rises onto and sticks to the interior windshield. And so a lot of that fog can be oils from the dashboard that hasn't been cleaned or that has been cleaned with a kind of lower end product and a kind of an oily, greasy product. A lot of times Armor All has a tendency to kind of increase the probability that that film will occur. But the big issue with glass that people have is that they don't understand that the glass, the interior window, has to be prepared before it's cleaned. So even though you're gonna buy a product that's going to be labeled glass cleaner, if it's a retail product like Invisible Glass or Meguiar's glass cleaner, it's not as much a glass cleaner as it is a glass enhancer or a glass finisher. In other words, the window is going to need to be prepared, cleaned before you apply some sort of window cleaner or window shine. So how do we do that? To make a long story short, what I'm going to use to prepare the glass and clean the interior window before I apply a window shine is a solution of 50% rubbing alcohol and 50% distilled water. Now, why do I do that? Well, because the rubbing alcohol is going to dry any sort of condensation or fog or oils. It's going to dry it up, whereas glass cleaner is not going to do that. It's also a great cleaner. That's why people pour alcohol on like open wounds, right? Because it's going to decontaminate things, it's going to clean things, and it dries things up. Like if you get swimmer's ear in the summer, you pour alcohol in your ear and it pulls that water out. And so it dries things up. And it also doesn't leave streaks, at least if you do it the correct way, you dry it up properly, it's not gonna leave any streaking. And so really this 50% alcohol, 50% distilled water solution can be kind of synonymous with like a clay bar. You clay bar the paint before you wax it in order to prepare the paint to be waxed. And that's exactly what this is. You don't just go in with your window shine, you have to prepare the glass before you spray that on, just like you have to prepare the paint before you wax it. Now, what towel am I gonna use? This is called a Huck towel, and I like these towels because they're really tight knit, they're a really tight weave, and if you use a microfiber towel that is not completely new, microfiber towels just tend to degrade fairly quickly as they're washed and dried. And if you use a microfiber towel that's been washed and dried, it's going to leave like fibers all across the window when you get finished. So as you rub it across the window, there's gonna be all these little trails of fibers left behind, and it's very, very annoying to deal with. So that's why I use this towel. This is kind of like a towel that you'd find maybe like in a bathroom, or like, it's actually also, what else do they call it? A surgical towel, like a surgery towel. But I'll link this up in the description box below. But this doesn't leave any fibers because it's not loose. It doesn't have any like loose fibers. It's just a very tight knit. So all I'm gonna do is take my 50% alcohol, 50% distilled water solution, spray it on the glass, and mop it up with this towel. So as you can see, I mopped it up with this side, and then I kind of buffed the residue off with the dry side, just like you do if you were waxing or something like that. Now, here's a disclaimer. Sometimes you're gonna need a little bit of extra power, extra cleaning power with if the fog like on your inner windshield is really dense. And in that case, not only are you gonna use the 50% alcohol, 50% distilled water solution, but you're also going to use a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm gonna make tons of videos on this thing because it's amazing, but if you spray the alcohol and the distilled water solution on the window, and then use the magic eraser, the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and rub all that alcohol and distilled water around on the window, kind of like you would if you were claying, if this was a clay bar and this was the lubricant. The Mr. Clean Magic Eraser is going to totally wipe out all that fog. So you're definitely gonna wanna do that on your windshield if that fog and film is dense in any way. So that's gonna knock that right out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these windows, and then I'm gonna come in and show you what I use to finish the glass.
Later.
All right, so windows done. Now, what do I use after the alcohol and rubbing, or the rubbing alcohol and distilled water solution has been applied and all the windows are cleaned? Well, number one, if it's your own car and you're just trying to do things quickly, you could actually leave it at that, because that's gonna clean your window and it's gonna be streak free. And so that's gonna be like probably what you're going for. You don't necessarily have to finish it with something, but I'm a detailer, so obviously I'm gonna finish it with something. This is called Invisible Glass, and it's a product by Stoner. Okay, Stoner right there. Now, this is an amazing product. I love it a lot. It's just my favorite glass cleaner. It's not that important which glass cleaner you use. Make sure it's an automotive dedicated glass cleaner, but like Meguiar's has a good product as well. Actually, Armor All's glass cleaner is actually not bad, and I don't ever push Armor All products ever, but their glass cleaner in particular is a pretty good one. But I prefer this. It's safe for tinted windows, and it's just good at finishing. So I'm gonna do exactly what I did with the rubbing alcohol and water solution, spray it on, mop it up. Now, as you can see, I didn't actually buff it off with my dry side, which I could have done that and that would have been fine. But one of the great things about this product is that even when it's not like sunny outside and really hot, it just has this tendency to flash dry, which just means like as you're mopping it up, it just kind of dries almost like with barely any wiping. It just dries like that. Normally that happens in the sun. They call it flash drying, but it kind of, like, I don't know if it's the chemical makeup of the product or why exactly that happens, but it kind of just flash dries on its own, and so there was no need for me to buff it off. But I'll bring you in to see the window. Now, obviously the exterior part of this window is not done yet, so you may see some streaks and stuff if you look at it at an angle. Yeah, so like you can see a little spot right there at an angle, but that's on the exterior of the glass, not on the interior. But the interior really, really, really looks great, and as you clean the exterior, you're going to be able to see that the window is really totally perfectly clean. Now, one thing you need to watch out for is getting in these corners. You know, getting in corners like this is going to be an issue because, you know, it's difficult to fit towels or stuff down there. You can use Q-tips, or you can just really stuff the towel down there. and that's going to be a really good idea. Now, you don't necessarily have to use a Huck towel either. You can actually use a glass-specific microfiber towel because those exist, and they're just a very tight nap, very tight knit, very low pile microfiber towel, and those are great as well. Those are glass-specific microfiber towels. Now, not only do I apply the rubbing alcohol distilled water solution to windows, but I also apply it to the navigation screens, or not the navigation screen, but the speedometer kind of screen in here, because this gets really chalked up with just dust, dirt, all this stuff, and the alcohol really clears these plastic pieces up. I also will I'll sometimes apply it to the navigation screen, or I'll just take distilled water and wipe off the navigation screen when I get finished detailing the car as a sort of finished look sort of thing. Now guys, I know this was an extremely short video and very, very straightforward and simple, but that's just kind of the nature of this subject. Very straightforward and very simple. Now guys, once again, if you have not subscribed to my Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, then consider subscribing by hitting the little red buttons right here that says subscribe in the corner of the video, because again, I come out with daily videos for tips and tricks, not only for the professional detailers, but also for the do-it-yourselfers. So if you think those videos will be of value to you, definitely subscribe. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or you want me to review or talk about something specific in the detailing world, make sure to leave me a comment below and I'll definitely read that. Also, my customer is walking out right now, so I'm gonna keep going while she's walking, but I told her I was taking this video before I did this, so she's cool. I am about to release a Q&A video also, so if you have any questions, make sure to link them up in the comment section below, and I will possibly choose your question to be one of the questions I answer in the Q&A video that I'm about to release. So guys, once again, thank you so much, and from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, I will see you next time.